Hey you guys, Eddie Collins here. Wanted to go ahead and explain this next video to you because if you hadn't heard already, on July 1st of this year, we actually lost a big member of the Volkswagen community, Mr. Gregg Bunch. A lot of people knew him around the world, and it was just really sad to see him go. Just prior to his passing, he and I actually spoke about the opportunity to maybe do an interview with him, but things went very quickly. And fortunately, however, the day before he actually passed, some of his friends, Mr. Ron Fleming, John Lazenby, and Pete Dayton, actually went ahead and got together at Gregg's house and had a chance to go ahead and chat about old times, because these guys have decades of friendship stacked up. And it was pretty awesome. And although Gregg wasn't actually in frame on this video, he was actually nearby listening to these stories of their friends reminiscing the past. Also, if you haven't gotten this issue yet of Hot VWs, the September issue, which is already out, has some really nice tributes about Gregg from both Shin Watanabe and as well as Ron Fleming. So if you do get a chance, I would highly advise that you go get this copy if you haven't already. But in the meantime, I want you to go ahead and check out this video and listen to the stories that these guys shared about Gregg. He definitely touched a lot of lives, and it's by these stories that we go ahead and we keep our friends alive. So I hope you enjoy. It was an honor for Gregg's family to actually go ahead and allow me to come over and take part in this. So a huge thanks to Mrs. Bunch and to his son Ryan. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And also, I think the biggest takeaway is, you know what, live every day to its fullest and enjoy your friends. One of the things that makes the VW community so great are friendships, the relationships that we make along the way. Worldwide, this hobby has definitely brought a lot of people together. So enjoy, you guys, and hope to see you at the next show or race. Take care.
So we are here now visiting our dear friend Gregg Bunch, who's a little under the weather today, and we're waiting to see Mr. Pete Dayton, who drove out from Phoenix, Arizona. My dear friend John Lazenby and his beautiful wife Christy are here with us, and all I have of my first wife is a photograph.
Awesome.
That's a story we don't need to go into, but she's happy now without me. So
that's you, huh?
yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Look at that. What
This
year would
was-
you say that was?
Oh, This was around
1969.
69, I
Yeah.
was going to say, yeah.
At the Bug Inn.
Because we were married for about a year, and in 71, July of 71, Gregg Aronson and I started Fleming Aronson High Performance, which went on to become Fat. And, well, that was 47 years of company. It was great. John knows what it's like. He had his own business. After working for other people for a while, we got to where we did what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And the struggle for the legal tender was fantastic. And by the way, that man in there, Mr. Gregg Bunch, set me on the path of my life.
Here comes
We
Tom.
didn't know it at the time, but what he did was he created my life path. So thank you very much. It was awesome.
That is awesome.
Ron and I were in school together, Anaheim High, and he loves me to tell the story.
Colonists.
He used to sit on the hood of his Mustang and laugh at me when I drove my '63 supercharged Volkswagen into the parking lot, and I find that ironic. And I met Gregg Bunch at Irvine Park, and invited Gregg to the club, to DKP, and in turn
He's the reason I'm in the club.
He's the reason that this happened.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No.
So that's how it started.
Yeah.
He came to my shop, not my shop, the shop I worked at, Westphalia Motors, on the corner of 5th and Raitt in Santa Ana. I worked for Rudy Hoffner, who was a really great German guy.
Rudy.
And I worked with two other Germans, Bernd Losing and Helmut Trefke. How about that memory?
Yeah.
Wow. And he came in, he wanted a Porsche clutch in his car. In those days, 180 millimeter Porsche diaphragm clutch
Luke.
was awesome. But I did it for him, and I told him, now listen, the first time you use it for the first couple of days, take it easy, because it has a lot of snap to it and you can hurt something. Well, about 3 hours later, he called me, he goes, I think you're right. I go, what? He goes, yeah, I think I heard something.
Yeah.
So they had the car towed in. I stayed late that night and replaced the broken axle that he made. And anyway, we became dear friends. He bugged me 3 or 4 weeks in a row, came by and he said, you need to come to our meeting, because at that time they met every week. And so finally, to get him off my back, I said, yeah, I'll come to a meeting. Well, the rest is history. What I brought to the club was a hot rod feeling, making them go fast, and turned what was a pretty good social club into a well-known, nowadays well-recognized hot rod VW club.
That is cool. Wow, what a history. And when you guys met, where did you guys meet every week? You said the club met every week.
Well, originally, when I'm one of the founders.
Okay.
So, and I evolved from another club into this. We used to meet at my parents' house. We had about 4 of us. We would meet at the parents' houses. And then we got the first clubhouse, which was on then Los Angeles Street, which today is Anaheim Boulevard, just north of the Anaheim Public Library and the Pickwick Hotel.
Wow.
We had that, and then later on, the second clubhouse was still in the Pickwick Hotel, but it was right around the corner on Chestnut Street. And that was the clubhouse where most of these photos are probably taken.
Oh, that is wild.
You know.
That is wild. So now, with you being one of the founders, what year was it founded?
Well, it says 1965, but really I was doing it in late '63.
Okay.
I had a club called VW Limited with a couple of other guys, and that kind of evolved into
And he
DKP.
was a flounder of that one. Oh, excuse me, a founder.
Yes. Yeah, I found it. I'm still looking. I found it.
That's awesome. And what car did you have?
I had the red '63. Are you familiar with the butternut car?
Yeah.
That's my car. That was the same car. It started off as a ruby red 1963 sunroof that I purchased from a little dealership in Riverside known as Econo Motors. And I got a side story on that.
Okay.
And then the car, by late '65, it evolved from the red to Fire Mist Green, which was a Cadillac color. And then by '71, it evolved into what became the butternut car. And the car was actually, when we got married, the car was sitting at Becker's being painted. And that was the final rendition. And I owned the car for 10.5 years. I sold it because we bought our first house, other interest. the guy I sold it to had it for 6 months, rolled it, and destroyed it.
Oh no.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's very, very few photos of the car. It never got any magazine articles, it never got anything. But the car was so, everybody talks about the white car, Gregg's car, and Gregg's car was a fabulous car.
Yeah.
This car was so different and so over the top from Gregg's car, but it never got the press.
Wow.
And now it's gone. It's all here. Because the other people involved, Leonard Becker, Don Bradford, Brad's Auto Upholstery, they're both gone. Those were the other two guys.
Those were our guys.
Those were our guys. Now, these guys were around, and, it's because of Ron that photo got into Keith's book of the car. It was because of him, I think. But that's one of the handful of photos that exist of the car. It's all here. Every bit of it.
And that's a dark and scary place.
I love it. I love
It's like the Roach Motel. You check in and don't check out.
Check out. Huh?
So we ought to hold back a little and wait for Mr. Dayton to get
Yeah,
here,
because Pete's
because
got-
he will blend in with
Yeah.
this conversation big
Sounds
time.
good.
It's hard to
This
stop him.
particular card is one of what I believe to be 3 ever done. This is signed by Peter Dayton, who will be here momentarily, Gary Huggins, who is deceased. They are the creators of the name and the logo of der Kleiner Panzers. The interesting thing about this particular club, you can see that it's pretty well beat up. It made 2 trips to Vietnam in my wallet.
Oh my gosh.
But the more interesting thing about it, now the date on this is January 3rd, 66, but it has no serial number. What it has is the term that says council. That was the beginnings of the club. But the club was actually going before this happened. When I found this envelope 3 weeks ago, I pulled out some stuff, and I pulled out another card that's signed by Ron and signed by Doug Hayden when I came back from the service, and it's number 71. But
Under
it doesn't,
protest.
But it doesn't work because sequentially, they didn't go sequentially. They just grabbed a card and did it. We found that out now. That card's mint. I can show you that one too.
Wow.
But I didn't know that I had it until 3 weeks ago.
Now, how long have you had that envelope?
Oh, well, I've had this stuff forever, but this envelope, I put it in a safe spot 25 years ago. And then I couldn't find it. And I was going through some stuff. You'll need to come to the house. I can explain it better.
Okay.
I was going through some stuff, and I found this envelope, and you can see on here it says used, and it's got my name, and that's there, right there, and that's my writing. And I go, what's in this? So I reach in, and I've been looking for something, one thing in particular, for 25 years. So I reach in, and I go, oh no, I don't believe what I'm feeling.
No.
This is one of the first half dozen ever made. And if you look on the back
I got
of it,
one of those.
if you look on the
at
back,
the Schley
it says
Museum.
Lucille's.
Yep.
And I knew I had it, but I didn't know where it was. I put it in a safe spot.
Wow.
And for 25 years, it was totally safe.
Oh my God.
So I found this. Then
Mine
I found,
is in the Schley Museum.
I know it is. Then I found the second membership card that I'd forgotten about, which is mint. That's in here. And then I found all of these.
Oh my goodness.
I had all this stuff for 25 years, put it in a safe spot. Here's an interesting shot. Now there's 2 people in that photo. The green car is mine in the second rendition, from the red to the fire mist green. There's a black oval window there in the background.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy standing there in the striped shirt, yeah, that's me. Do you know who the other guy is?
No.
Look at it close.
Wait a minute. It's kind of hard to tell. Is it this guy here?
It's
No
him.
way.
It's him.
That's my oval window in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the lot directly across the street on Chestnut from where the clubhouse was. It was just a parking lot. This was probably taken on a Sunday evening because we did our club meetings there every Sunday without fail. And this is probably where that was shot.
And we had cards, not membership cards, just cards. Here's Gregg Bunch's.
Oh my gosh. Let's see that. Look at that. Look at that. Wow.
You ever had one of those?
Hmm?
You never had one of those.
Wow. Never seen that before. Even spelled.
Well, when
Volkswagen.
you ran away to the service, we
Yeah, I
did
know.
them.
Have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen this photo before?
No, I haven't.
Well, this is an iconic photo. She took it.
Oh, how cool is that?
This is taken out of the roof of the Butternut car, going to Featherly Park for the first time when Featherly Park was twigs instead of trees.
Oh my God.
And this is well, you can see it says Kramer Glassell Junction.
Yeah.
So she stood up at speed and shot this.
That's awesome.
And I can name some of the people in the cars behind us.
That's so cool.
See, here's Mike Johnston's first card from 1967 when Chuck Henry and Pete
Chuck
Dayton
Henry, Chuck
signed
Henry,
it.
yeah.
And then here's a later one in 1970, and I signed it and Doug Hayden signed it.
And interestingly enough, this is number 55, and this is number.
Yeah, there was no
Order.
continuity in the numbers. It's just
Wow, look at that.
Oh my God.
I'm looking for my other
an
card.
original
right
decal.
Greg giving him his
My first wife again, Pam Bunch.
now. Miss Bunch.
Miss Benson.
Okay, this is one I was looking for.
Look at that. That is awesome.
This is the second clubhouse on Chestnut.
That was the Chestnut drag strip.
That's right. We literally would block the street off from Harbor Boulevard heading east to Anaheim Boulevard or
Yeah.
Los Angeles Street.
Yeah, where you'd be about in top of third gear, and you either had,
had
to
to
get out
slam
of
on the
it
brakes.
or slam on the brakes. And
So I wonder why they changed the name of the street. That's interesting. That it went to Anaheim Boulevard.
I don't know. They thought it was Progress, but that's Pete.
Pete
and
Dayton
you.
and me in 1986.
Here. She's
Here's
happy.
here's the Brimlow shot I was telling you about. Is it the good eye or the bad eye?
Well, the bad eye is on the right. So it's when he's driving, Foster would be sitting in the passenger seat, flipping him off, and he couldn't see
I
him.
swear he looks like he's shooting that camera through the right eye. No,
Well-
wait a minute. No, through the left eye. Okay. Okay.
Look at all these pictures. It's incredible
yeah.
that they hadn't seen daylight in 25 years.
Dave Patrick and Bill McMillan taking the car apart from going from the green to the butternut. Here's the
Yeah.
original, and I now have a reproduction of it. Here's the original top 10 board.
Wow.
And there's two, Dean made two. He
Right.
made one for me and one for Eisen and Schleys. Oh, here you go. This one's dated 8/30/1970, and you can see it's serial number 71.
Yeah, there's no continuity.
No rhyme or reason there. And this one, of course, never got handled, so it's basically mint.
That's incredible that you took the other one twice.
Oh, yeah.
In your wallet,
Hey,
to
that's
get
how
out.
much the club meant to me. Okay, here is one of the earliest shots of the car when it was red. That's in my parents' driveway.
I should have brought my huge boxes of
Okay,
photographs.
I have a picture here that this is probably the earliest shot that I've got of the car.
Oh, look at that.
That is the summer of '64.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, wait a minute, there's one more you're going to like here. And when I looked at this one, I just had to shake my head for a minute. I couldn't believe it. There's the first Anaheim to Hollywood caravan that I led. We had over 100 cars going up the 5 freeway.
Anaheim to Hollywood.
Anaheim
Yeah.
to Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. In the Hollywood Hills. Oh, man.
Dean Kirsten has seen this. He went nuts when he saw it. Here's a picture of Gregg Aronson in his car driving. He says there are no pictures of Gregg Aronson driving his car.
I have one
Well, then we have two
on,
now.
on the San Diego cruise.
Yeah, there-
He was
well,
right next to me, and
we
I
go.
went with an Instamatic.
How cool is that?
Let me find this one shot.
So who was the first member?
Well, Pete
found it?
Dayton and
Okay.
The
Huggins.
first, well, I guess I technically am the first member, but Pete Dayton and Gary Huggins and I were really the three guys that became Der Kleiner Panzers. There were
'cause
a couple other guys.
It was more of a social club
You're right.
then, and
Here's you've been to Schleys, you've seen the DKP banner?
Yeah.
That's mine. That's the same banner.
Okay.
That's at my house. I have one of me holding it on a pole, too.
So when did Gregg come into it? When did Gregg?
I met Gregg in about '66
Okay.
at Irvine Park. We used to go to Irvine Park and wax the cars, and he happened to show up there one day, and that's
with his bug.
yeah, with the first one, with the '66. I got to find this one photo, Ron, because you're gonna love it. Oh,
So
no.
wait, you guys would go to the park and wax your cars there, huh?
Oh, we waxed our cars everywhere.
Oh, and or on Friday nights we'd be at Big Carl's, shining up BRM wheels, knowing that by the next morning they'd be growing hair again.
No way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I had Americans, and every morning when I'd come out in the garage, I would get I used Simichrome, Happy Simichrome. I'd sit there before I
Brasso.
went to work. I was the GM at Auto House, if you know who Auto House was. And before I drove the 5 miles up to Buena Park, you know, and you have the black finger of success.
The lowriders did. Yeah, they waxed their cars at the park quite often. Oh yeah.
But I'm surprised that the park didn't.
This is Tom Clark, who's been a tremendous help to Mr. Bunch in his time of need. Oh, yes, you have.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So, I'm surprised the park was okay with people actually.
We
going
could
there.
park on the grass in that day.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Things were way different.
Oh, yeah.
More relaxed.
But,
I don't know where that picture is. It'll still be in here.
hey, Ryan.
Hey there. Found
There
a
it
few
is.
of my dad's pictures inside.
Oh, I have that picture.
Now, Ron's a drag racer, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
Ron
it.
came around like in
That's at the bug-in.
when
our
did you get
display.
into DKP, roughly?
Late 67, I think
Okay.
it was.
Okay. This is a picture taken December the 6th, 1964. And that is my car with me in it at Lyons Drag Strip. With a Judson supercharger and the first set of fresh air 4-tune headers that Bob Sanchez ever made.
That's cool.
And the yellow brake drums. And it says 4-tune headers on the fenders.
Yeah, we put Anchor muffler on our fenders and DKP Racing Team across
Yep,
the hood.
yep.
That?
Yep. And here's something that Gregg sent me. This is dated 1991. John, I thought you would like to see how the French magazine threaded
Anchor
my
headers.
story, and your car
No way.
enclosed is another copy of February-March issue with the New
Blue
Yorker
side
features. Cheers.
windows.
There's another anchor header.
Well, that's,
Oh, yeah.
That's Don Crane's car.
I don't know which car that is, but
Mike Joseph.
Mike Joseph, you got to pay. Oh, that is. Wow.
Up here.
Now there's a guy that dropped off the planet.
Really?
Hey,
That's me.
come on up.
Peter! I gotta go see.
You see it in the.
I love it.
Hey, my man. Oh, I like that
How
shirt.
are you, Pete? So good to see you.
I'm totally out of breath.
You look good. You look good.
Wow. Here. Don't want to mix them with.
It's really weird. Hey,
Those are, I've never seen
I
any of
plugged
these
in
sorts
the-
of things that he had.
Oh yeah,
GPS,
and
go to
that's
the hotel
that's a
last night.
Jim Edmiston
Took
drawing.
about 10 minutes. Coming back was about
Flyers
25
on the
minutes. Like,
inside
what
that
the
look
heck?
like-
Welcome to
Yeah,
Southern California.
he did
Yeah,
all
I
of
was
the
doing all sorts of ways I
artwork
did
for.
it.
mess.
We were going to put on
It's
a
not like
the
when we were
Hollywood
here.
Caravan, or we were going to
back
put on a rally.
This is the 60th anniversary. That's my car.
Wait, what was this?
First Anaheim to Hollywood Caravan.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Not a good picture, but
How long did that take? And how many?
we
cars were
we
there?
left about 3 in the afternoon on a Saturday, and we were probably back about 9.
Okay.
It was a big deal. We had over 100 cars. Okay, now, this is, and Pete can probably, when he gets back, this is the first, to my knowledge, this is the first documented photograph of Der Kleiner Panzers as a club. Looks like my dog chewed it. Maybe they did. But the interesting, I can tell you where this was taken. I can probably tell you about when it was taken. This is La Palma Park in Anaheim. And I don't know where we got that, the Der Kleiner Panzers, but and I can name most of the people in here. Pete may have taken this photograph because I remember him going over. They were doing something in the stadium, and they had an A-frame ladder, and he goes, "Can I borrow that ladder?" And he gets up, and I think that's who shot this photo.
No kidding. That is
Yeah,
awesome.
there's another photo it was shot the same day. That's more, but this is, I believe, to be the more unique photo of the ones that exist. And once again, this was buried in here.
And the only one.
Yeah.
To the best of your knowledge. Yeah, look at that. The only one. That is incredible.
And I'm sorry it's torn up, but at least this much of it still exists.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Wow.
So this photo is at least 60 years old. It's working on 61 years.
Awesome. So cool.
Yeah.
We are here sitting on the porch of Mr. Bunch's house with our really cool founders here, Mr. Pete Dayton. It's my pleasure to announce him.
Howdy.
Hey, Pete.
And it's my it's my honor to announce Mr. John Lazenby here.
Don't handle me like
They're a
that.
couple of the founders
Don't handle
in
me.
various ways. Mr. Lazenby started the early beginnings of the club with these guys. Before it became the Kleiner Panzers, it was
VW's Limited.
VW's Limited. And
I still dispute that story.
yeah,
I do.
we ought to not hear from me so much. I came a little later and turned the thing into a hot rod club. But Mr. Dayton,
And that's where it needed to be,
yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah.
Yeah, mine was too sedate, old men. That's what it was, but just a bunch of old men in stock cars.
But you steered the ship, and you steered it well.
Well, in the beginning, I know I wasn't making any friends, but I remember the whole premise of the club at the time was, let's go back. Here we're all in JC, right? Junior college. Wasting time, not making good grades, but we all had, you had a Volkswagen. Mike Mahaffey had a Volkswagen.
Mendenhall.
Mahaffey.
Not Mahaffey. Yeah, he had the 52.
Mendenhall.
Yep.
And, but he wasn't part of the club at the time.
Correct.
Mendenhall had the other one. And he was living down in Anaheim Harbor.
And I might add that Mendenhall's car was painted by Molly.
Purple.
Yeah, it was a burgundy purple
Molly,
color.
a famous painter
Molly,
of
the
race
famous painter in La
cars
Habra.
And lowriders.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he did all of, I think, Yamaha's or Kawasaki's motorcycle tanks too.
Yeah.
He's no longer with us, but he was quite the painter.
Well, I like to think
Yeah.
those guys are with us in spirit.
Yeah. We were just trying to figure out a way to have fun without any jingle in our pocket. Because we didn't have any. I was working at Disneyland at the
Yep.
time, making $1 an hour.
I was working at a grocery store making $1.57.5 an hour, but I had to pay union dues.
And, I remember, and a little while later, we both graduated to the clothing business. I was working at Norm
He
Meagher's.
worked at Norm Meagher's, and
You
I
were
worked
gonna-
at Howard Still's, which were two kind of premier traditional men's clothing stores at the Broadway Shopping Center
Broadway.
in Anaheim.
Boy, I bet that's been
Yeah,
going
we
on.
were-
I remember
Oh, yeah.
Kotler's Mints.
Yeah, Ronnie Kotler used to ride
Lincoln
around with me.
Street.
Yeah.
And Anaheim Union High guys would get a account. I
Yep.
think it was like
Yep.
$200 or
Yep.
$250, and so you could go put things on the account, and then you had to pay it monthly.
And what you have to
Without
realize
any
there,
credit.
$200, let's say, but we wore, there was a dress code that we had. You wore British Walker saddle
British
shoes.
Walkers,
You
yeah.
had Corbin slacks.
Corbin
Now, British
slacks.
Walker saddle shoes were $32.
That was a boatload of money.
Corbin's, depending on the material, they started about $18 to $20 and went up. And then Gant shirts or Ciro shirts, and they were like $7. This is when Gant and Ciro, all this stuff was made in America.
I was
None of
cheaper.
this was
I wore
offshore.
Penny Towncraft shirts.
Yeah, and then Kotler's,
Me
yeah,
too.
Kotler's was in there too. Ron Kotler, who was one of the sons, used to ride around with me, or I'd ride around with him. And one night I was riding around with him over by Big Carl's, and we're going down the street, and the car felt funny, and all at once the left front wheel went that way.
Oh my God.
On Romney Street. Yeah, he still lives, I believe, in Los Alamitos.
Wow. Wow. So
Anyway.
That's wild.
You were making a decal, and your friend Mr. Huggins was a
He was looking at
Nazi aficionado,
He was
right?
looking at, yeah,
German War,
German
German War
magazines.
stuff.
German magazines.
Yes.
And he found the eagle that he wanted to contribute to the decal.
Yeah.
All I was doing, we both went to Anaheim Public Library. It was a brand new library on Broadway, Harbor? Broadway. and Harbor?
Broadway and Anaheim Boulevard, Los Angeles Street.
Right. Okay.
Oh no, you're talking about the one at Harbor and
Yeah,
The
that
new one.
was.
yeah, that was
original
brand new
one.
then.
The
Yeah.
original one was right next to the Pickwick.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, you're talking about the one at Harbor and Broadway.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So
That
we-
was brand new then.
We used to go there. One, we wanted to get out of the house, right? Under the auspices of studying, right? And so we would go. He'd pick me up about 6:30 or so, sometime after dinner, and we'd stay till the place closed, and then come on home, or stop at Carl's Jr. and what? I don't think it was called Junior at the time.
No, it
was
was the big
Just
Carl's.
Carl's.
It was
It
Harbor
was
and
Carl's.
Rodney.
Pre in and out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pre in and out.
And it was a eat-in restaurant inside, and then there was a drive-in in the back that had a U shape, and you could pull in on the back row or back in, or on the front row you could do the same. And the ideal spot to be was on the front row, backed in.
With car
And if-
hops.
You could nurse a Coke all night and sit there and watch the show go by.
Yeah, with car hops. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we all had
Oh
our
God,
favorite.
yes.
We were studying women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
were working our angles.
So, in trying to figure out something for us to do on the weekends and maybe attract girls in some way, we decided, well, let's start a Volkswagen Club. At least 2 out of the 5 of us have got Volkswagens. That's the common thread between us.
Right.
Right. Other
right.
than we didn't work together, but went to school together.
Oh yeah.
Worked
Yeah,
the
we
same
went
kind of
to school
businesses
together from
together.
junior high on.
Yeah. As did Huggins.
It's Huggins. The 3 of us did. Yeah.
Yeah.
What junior high did you guys
Fremont.
Fremont.
Fremont. And
Which
then what,
was
high school?
Anaheim.
Anaheim. Okay.
Anaheim High. Yeah, that's where the club really became in. Der Kleiner Panzers was through Anaheim High School.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I kind of lost my train of thought. It happens when you're pushing 80 like you.
You're pushing a little harder than I am, though. And he's over the hill.
I'm 79.
I love it.
You got me beat by a month, Pete.
Oh, a month. Okay.
So then what were you driving then at that time? What was your car?
I was not driving. I did not have a car.
Oh, you didn't have a car?
Oh no, my parents had a special rule. They had a special rule. Both of my older sisters, got pregnant in the back seat of cars at 14, and so my dad decided that there will be no car for me. Because my mother probably made that decision. There'll be no car
Lois,
for him.
God rest her soul. His mom was really a neat lady. She was a character, but she was really a neat gal.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have a Volkswagen. As a matter of fact,
The first one you had was that green.
the first one I had was before the Green. It was a 55
Oh.
root beer brown. Remember?
Oh, 55.
Now, see, I don't remember that. I remember the green one.
I had a 55.
Chalk that up to almost being 80.
Here, okay, so maybe I can blame my dad for this. The rule was, you'll get yourself a job, then you'll get yourself insurance, then you'll buy yourself a car, then you get yourself some insurance, and then we'll let you get a license.
Wow.
And I had to do it kind of in that order, and I don't know what special deal they made with the insurance guy, but it seems like you'd have to have a car first. But anyway, that deal worked out where I gave him my $500, and they went out and bought me a car, and it happened to be a Volkswagen. That's how I got on the
In those
Volkswagen.
days, there were lots of little lots on Harbor Boulevard.
Yep.
I bought my 54 there for $600
Yeah.
on the lot, and it was in '67, so it wasn't that old of a car.
No, no.
I mean, it was a little over 10 years old, and they were cheap,
Yeah,
reasonable.
yeah,
We
indeed.
could buy brand new ones for 13 or 14.
And along those lines, I didn't want a Volkswagen. My dad had told me, he said, if you keep your grades up and I was working, he says, we'll help you with the car. And I said, great. Well, what I wanted, I wanted a 63 Ford, and he was a Ford guy, so that was good. But when he started finding out the specifics of what I wanted, which was a 406 4-speed car, he goes, no, because you'll kill yourself. And I remember saying, well, then fine, I want a Volkswagen. Because there was
you got it.
Yeah, because there's a guy 2 doors down that had a red 62 sunroof VW, and I used to walk by it. And that's how the Volkswagen came into my life. It wasn't my destiny, but it was my destiny.
You bought that particular car, didn't you? Because your first car was red.
That's the car.
Well, here's
Yeah.
my Volkswagen
Yeah.
story. I had my learner's permit, and my dad said to me, you can drive one of my cars to get your license. And he was sure I was going to take his, I called it an often repair. We had an Alfa Romeo, Gillette Spider, convertible, red, and he thought for sure I wanted it. I said, I'll take the Volkswagen. It was this 57 sunroof, tan, bug, you know? And he looked at me like, you don't want the Alpha? No, I want the bug. So that was my 57 sunroof. That's when I bought a 54 oval window after I got my license. Anyway, that's
But you know, the reality was we none of us were really making any money, and the Volkswagens were really an affordable car, and they were becoming quite the rage with the college crowd and whatnot. So it's all timing, and that's, you know, as it worked out. But there wasn't a lot of speed stuff out there in the beginnings. Very little. Very
No,
little.
I can remember when MP got established. You remember that? When MP?
You went,
yeah, I was
And it
going
was over
out
on
there with
Beach
Don
Boulevard?
Crane and Jim Holmes, to Riverside.
Riverside.
Riverside, yeah. I used to hang out at Schneider Motors, who was the one that became our first sponsor. It was
Only.
Yeah, he was a VW Porsche repair shop. It was J&F, which was Joe and Fritz, and then Fritz went away and it became Schneider's. And Joe used to have me drive, because I'd spent a lot of free time there. He would have me drive to Impey in Riverside. This is before the 91 freeway existed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would
Lincoln been around
I would
and
take
went
one
on
of his
out.
vehicles, and he became the first BMW dealership in Orange County. So a lot of times I'd get to drive a new BMW, and I would drive out there and I would pick up liner kits and all this stuff and bring them back to the shop. You know, so I got to know where Econo Motors was. You know,
Yeah, big time.
you know,
That is
but
cool.
then you could drive. It was no, I mean, it was actually a pleasant drive.
How
You know.
long did it take though without the
Oh.
91 freeway?
Well, see, it was 4 lanes with a median of trees, and 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. Lincoln came and been around, which would become Santa Ana Canyon,
Right.
and that's the way you got out.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah. That was
remember we
that was
went
the
out-
route to get there.
The club went out to Corona to this great Italian restaurant where they did it family style. We had a big long table and you got this course, then that course. That was a lot of fun, and it was down in the trees.
Yeah.
One thing about the club I can say is we were very loyal to certain companies: Anchor Muffler,
Yep.
Brad's Upholstery,
Becker's.
Paint. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
Joe Schneider. If you didn't do your own, you needed stuff done, you go see him.
And also I would say that the club guys in the era of Ron and Gregg, we were very, very loyal to them. And also the club members were very, very loyal to Auto House as far as buying their parts.
That's cool.
So it was all kind of encapsulated, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
We were very loyal to each
And
other.
I was just going to bring up that name, Auto House, and they
Yeah.
were on Beach Boulevard.
Yep.
Yeah,
in
I was a
Park.
GM there.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was there.
And
That's where I started.
They wanted to be
He
on
means
that
he was
preferred.
the garage monkey there when he says GM.
He wasn't a wrench turner. He was.
I
he was
keep
a cleanup
taking
boy.
abuse from this man.
It's a shared thing.
It is. It is.
Heard.
I
And,
love him.
and if I don't
tell.
care about somebody, they don't get the time of day. These two guys, I'd walk over broken glass for any day of the week.
And we'd spread it out for
Yeah,
him.
they would. They'd make it miserable.
It's unfortunate that Mr. Bunch
Yeah, it is.
not able to be out here with us today.
Because he would have so much to offer.
Yeah.
Oh my
boy.
goodness.
Well, I'll tell you, when I started listening to you guys and hearing about the amount of years that your guys' friendship with him
Oh,
is
yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable. I mean, I'm 55. You guys have been
We've got
friends
over
longer
6
than that.
decades here between each one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
No, I think it is so cool, and I mean it's neat. Obviously, the Volkswagens is what bonded you guys, But I mean, it's incredible.
yeah. Well,
what
yeah.
this Volkswagen-
It was. I mean, Pete and I were friends before that, but it was really that thing that made it gel, I think.
Pete led him to believe that. So when Bunch came to me and he'd say, "You got to come. We have this car club and everything," I said, "No." I had a '65 Mustang,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was a member of the Fullerton Henchmen for a while.
Oh yeah.
And that was like,
My goodness.
that was too political and too much jive and all that stuff. So, and then of course I started going to Fullerton Junior College, and then I got back into having a Volkswagen. So.
We probably put a flyer or two on your windshield
No
in
problem.
the parking lot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Probably.
Well, where I lived in Anaheim, around the corner was Gregg and Jim Holmes, and so there was a cluster of us there.
Okay.
And Jim Holmes was a very early guy in the club too. Way back in the very early stages. He and Mike Mahaffey. Mahowdy. I've known Mike Mahaffey since 1956.
Since he was just a
We had a paper route together when we were kids.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I mean, you know, it's our whole lives. You know that this whole thing is it's our
For
lives.
me, well, and for you too. It was not just a car; it was friends.
Yeah.
And your struggle for the legal tender was based
yeah.
around Volkswagens, and that little car has been for us our whole life.
It's been the whole life, and I can say for me, I've gone on to other things, but there has always been a Volkswagen in my life, as there is one now, and it will be there till the day I'm gone. You know, and it's part of me.
No, I think it's awesome. You know, when I think about that and just how big of a part of life it's been.
Oh, it
for
is.
you
It
guys.
is.
What do you think, or what would be your advice to the younger generation right now that are into Volkswagens? How would you guys keep it alive longer?
The problem here is they're so valuable now. When we were buying them, we could buy them for, and it was a lot of money. We could buy them for a used one from $500-600. You could buy a brand new one. At their heyday, it was like $17.95.
Yeah, $1,800 out the door. You know, kind of. But that was a lot of money.
And I had a guy from Japan call me and said, I want Sonny, I want to buy your car. I said, well, it's not for sale. He goes, what do you want for it? I said, I don't want anything for it. He goes, done. I said, no, it's not for sale. He said, I'll give you $40,000.
What? You could buy a whole new set of wrenches for that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I bought
Polished
Snap-on
ones,
wrenches
Snap-ons.
for years, and what I have now in my toolbox is hard to afford nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what my point being is, you have to be a wealthy young man, and you have to be crazy about Volkswagens to spend that kind of money for them. So hopefully, the one that we have, you know, get passed on to somebody that cares about them, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's a worldwide thing now.
it is. It's a worldwide thing.
We call it CalLook, but it's Europe,
Yeah.
and I've been to Southeast Asia, and Brazil, and Canada, and you name it. You know, all over the world, this car has become a cult classic.
Indeed.
What I see with the youth of today, excluding the current VW people, but the youth of today, first
That's
of all,
you and I, Pete.
they don't have any interest in cars per se. Cars, it's a utensil for them to get from point A to point B, and they're ingrained in this electric thing and all that. They're ingrained in their phones and their computers, and it's kind of a lost thing. And I tell them, I said, if you would have been here when we were here, we grew up in the perfect place at the perfect time. Orange County, and the weather and the beaches and the car, and it's still the car culture capital of the world.
Yeah.
But it's all different than it was. And I tell them, you don't know what you missed. And we were so blessed to live here when we did, to grow up here.
That's awesome.
Would you
And
agree?
didn't know it at the time.
We didn't know it. No, we were too stupid
Again,
because we were just having
they
fun.
called it CalLook in '75. We were just doing our cars the way we like to look.
Right.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and down in front, single paint schemes, no
Yep.
two-tones, no metallics, very simple. I remember we went to, did he point at me? I remember when we went to Econo Motors, and I picked up a BRM that was laying in the corner, and went, oh crap, we gotta have these.
And along those stories, Schneider Motors, when I was there, Emo Weldon, who is the father of Dan Weldon, who for years owned Impey. Well, Emo was a salesman for Impey, and he had one of those Impey GTV cars.
Yeah.
And he would come in, and I can remember him coming into Schneider's with that car, and it had these dingy gray wheels on it. And he goes, "You guys need these," and we go, because we had Porsche-style chrome wheels with nipple caps or VW caps.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, you ought to have these." And how much are they? Well, they're $50 each. And I go, You're nuts. Who'd spend $50 for one of those things? And now they, what, if you can find a set, $20,000?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
On
Oh,
that,
gosh.
that same vein
Yeah.
was Don Crane and I went to Carroll Shelby, who was the importer of 48 IDAs, because
Right.
they were made for Cobras.
The Cobras.
He had them made at Weber.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we went there to Carroll Shelby, and we were going to buy a pair of them for Don's. And Don would go buy his dad, and his dad would slip him money. And then he'd go buy his mom, and she'd go, "Did Dad give you any money?"
No.
So she'd give him more
Give
money.
him more money.
So we'd go there, and I'm asking the guy, I didn't get to talk to Carol, but this sales guy, I said, "We're here to get a couple of 48 IDAs." And I go, "How much?" And he goes, 125. I go, "Each?" And he goes, "No, you wanted two, right?" They were $62.50 each. I said, "We'll take four."
And we used to sell them at Auto House. We used to sell them on the wall, retail price. They were $75 a piece. But that's when you could buy an 010 distributor for $14.95. You know, so I mean, it was a lot of money.
That's wild.
For the Volkswagen, there was no manifold or anything for those IDAs, though.
Well, Impy made them.
Impy made some, and they were reversed. They were flipped.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then Berg had the short ones.
Right, and Gene Berg had come down here, and he worked with Dean Lowry, and then they broke up, and then Gene Berg started his own stock.
Own thing.
And I went to work for him. This is before Fleming and Aronson and
Yeah.
that performance. I worked for Gene Berg, and I remember Emil Wellman coming by. And,
Yep.
and Gene looked at the car and he said, "God, that's kind of gaudy with all this."
Oh, it
I
was.
said, "Well, we can take that off." And he goes, "And those gray wheels." I go, "We can paint them."
Yeah.
I said, "They're Iron Cross wheels, German wheels."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they weren't really. They were what,
No.
British Speedwell.
Oh no, right?
They
were
sure
made
looked
in-
it, though.
but- yeah.
That's incredible. I can't believe the prices. That's
Well, and then there was another story about wheels. Doug Hayden. We both worked at the same place prior to me being at Auto House. We worked for AJS Foreign Cars, which was on 1550 North State College. Doug Hayden and Gregg Aronson worked in a machine shop. I worked up front. That's where I broke into the parts business. Doug got married a month before we did.
Danny Zappa's dad.
Danny Zappa's dad, Dan Zappa. And Doug calls me one day and he goes, "Hey," he says, "I contacted American Racing Equipment, Rancho Dominguez." And he says, "They've got an inventory of American mag wheels left. Are you interested in going in?" I said,
in.
"Well, yeah, I mean, what are they?" I'd given up on BRMs. I never had BRMs because I could never find a set because these guys cornered the market. So I had two Americans that I chased a girl down on a Baja
Large
bug and got
five-old
them.
Americans.
Yeah. So anyway, we ended up buying the inventory of all the large 5-lug Americans, magnesium. We didn't know there were aluminums were made, but there's aluminum ones out there now.
Yeah.
There was also an 8-spoke version they made. So we bought the entire inventory and had them shipped to Doug's apartment. Kathy was there, she was pregnant. And this stuff starts coming in the door and she's ready to deliver right there on this spot. Well, anyway, we shared the expense and we figured out the wheels landed from Rancho Dominguez to, he was in Fullerton, were about $28 a wheel.
wow.
So we're going, okay,
you
well,
wish
I
you
want
had 'em
I want
now.
these. I got six. I got six, 5 for the car and 1 backup.
Oh my gosh.
His brother Whit got 4, I think, for a car, and then Doug got the 8 spokes because his car was a 4-bolt pattern. It was a European 66 with disc brakes in the front. So he got those. And then we had the inventory left over.
for
So we
6
started advertising them
Nice.
to the club members for $50 a wheel, because that's what a BRM was going for. And I can remember, and I won't say his name, but I remember one member coming up saying, "That's too much money. You older guys are taking advantage of us." Well, then don't buy them. It's as simple as that. And they went like that, and they were gone.
Wow.
And that was the end of the original.
We made $22 a wheel. Oh, for shame.
Yeah. Yeah, we made $22 a wheel.
Wow.
Well, we made $11 a wheel after we split that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Didn't DKP own all of those wheels?
Well, No.
No.
What other club had?
Well,
Well, there
the-
were no other clubs, were there?
Well, yeah, there was Newport Beach Volkswagen
And DRF.
Oh, yeah.
and DRF, and they were more social clubs, although DRF was trying to be more like us.
What was
Because
DRF?
we were the
The Rennwagen Führers.
Oh, okay.
We
Mark
were,
Thurber.
We were, because mostly of me, we were the hot rod club. And I was building motors and using Corvair pistons and cylinders before you could get 88s or 89s, and then the good ones came along, and I made friends with Daryl the Tone, and so we would get good parts and fair prices, and yeah, we
Wow.
were building hot rods.
Wow.
I believe I'm correct. You know,
Against the top 10
you know where the original 92s came from, don't you?
No.
They were originally a Dodge
Yeah,
318
they were
piston
318
that
piston.
Daryl Dean Lowry figured out.
Yeah.
And then he got tied in with NPR. I assume through
Nippon
Impy.
Ring made the cylinders.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they ended up making the pistons.
Yeah, they made the
but they
pistons,
were
too.
a Dodge 318
So
piston.
Dodge 318
What year would
pistons.
that have been?
68, 69.
Okay.
Yeah.
92.
Yeah.
Back then, huh?
Yeah.
Gene Bird called them 90 screws because he thought.
Yeah,
they
you know,
were
he wouldn't run anything
a
bigger than
problem.
88s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He said your case will break and they'll.
And they
leak
did.
and-
You
yeah.
could crack
But
cases.
they were fast. What the hell? We didn't care.
He took me for a ride. He had an 1835, I think, with a Zenith on it. He took me
Yeah.
for a ride one day,
Uh-huh.
and I became a believer. In that little black car, the oval window black car, I became the believer, and I go, I gotta have one of these.
Wow.
That's all it. Because
Oh,
I had a
yeah.
40 horse with a big bore kit.
On average, at the drags, how many runs would you get out of a build?
Oh, plenty.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't break them at the end of?
No,
No.
but I built Mahaffey a killer motor with an Eagle 140 big cam, 2180 SPG roller, 92, and he ran the quickest ran he ever ran at Lions, and it blew apart in the big end when he just crossed the finish line. Put a
oil
rod
everywhere.
through the top of the case.
And I can tell
But
you,
this wasn't the first time he'd run it. He'd run
No.
it numerous times, but he went 1188.
and I can tell you that Mike Mahaffey, when he had the
Damn.
split window that was offered to me before he bought it, that was at Schneider Motors. Is where Gary was the mechanic, and the car was there, and I could have
52.
bought. 51.
51.
I could have bought it for $300, but I go, what do I want another Volkswagen? Anyway, the car got the reputation of, you know, we'd go to the big Carl's, to Taco Villa. You had the circuit you cruised every night, and the car got the reputation because
Bean Hut.
the
Oh, yeah,
big
the
Chevys,
Beaners.
the Fords, and the Mopar guys, they got to the point they wouldn't race him.
Really?
And I can tell you this, I stood behind that car one night at Taco Villa's lot. Katie, remember his girlfriend Katie?
Yeah.
And he went through there, and he lit the thing up, and I swear I saw the quarter panels in the car flex. Wow. Car was unreal.
We met a guy
It was unreal.
named Diamond Jim,
Uh-huh.
who was big in the Mopar Club. So he loved how fast we were. So he'd constantly hook us up with one of the Mopar guys,
Yep.
you know, and he'd hold the money. And we'd go out to
The
either
Diamond
La
Bar?
Palma Raceway,
Diamond Bar?
or we'd go out to Nabisco
Yeah,
in Fullerton.
yeah.
Those were a couple of drag strips.
Nice.
We were at La Palma Raceway one night, and this is in the day when La Palma went out there and hit Imperial, and the only thing out there was the Knollwoods.
Knollwoods,
Right there.
1957 is when they
And-
started there.
And
The Fly Farm, as
we
Huggins
had-
called it.
I got pulled over. I wasn't racing then. I got
I'm
pulled
so
over
glad to
by a
see
cop,
you.
and he goes,
It made my day.
Oh,
"What do you
great.
think that line in the street is for?" I go, "I don't
The
know."
feeling is mutual.
And he goes, "I
The
bet if
feeling
you
is
and I
mutual.
go,
Thank you. Thank
what do
you.
you say, a quarter mile down
and to
here,
see your bride
there
as
might
well."
be another line?" I said, "Maybe." So he said, "How about this? How about you get your buddies and get the hell out of here, and we'll forget this ever happened." I go, "Yes, sir."
Yes, sir.
Nice. That's funny. And how old were you think back then?
I was probably 19, 20.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
That's when he was a little wilder than he is today.
That's crazy.
Let me throw some bait out there for John
All
here.
right.
Okay.
I can remember he used to love Bob's Big Boy up in Whittier.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his life.
Oh, yeah. My favorite place.
Yeah, what Mama didn't cook for you, you ate at Bob's Big
And
Boy.
Pete had plenty of meal at my parents' house, didn't you, Peter?
Oh, well, there were some great memories there.
So what was
Especially-
it? How many big boys? And
7 and 5 minutes.
Wow.
back to
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously.
back to Wee Willie Arroyo
See
we
ya.
were talking about earlier. He said he could eat. Well, we would have at Big Carl's, I
Carl's.
think on Wednesday night.
Tuesday night. Chicken eating contest.
Because it was all
All you could eat for what price?
Yeah, it was.
And we'd go in there, and the families are there because they're trying to save some money and feed the family, and we'd start. And I can still see Don Crane like this, and the grease is running down. He goes, "This is wonderful. This is just wonderful."
Billy Arroyo
Bill is just
would win the contest.
Powering it down.
Without a doubt. Then he would order a chocolate shake just
Yep.
to prove it.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
And drink that.
And he
whole
was a
chocolate
little
shake.
tiny
Oh
guy.
yeah. Oh yeah. We're talking about like 17 or 18 pieces of chicken.
Yeah.
Stuffing
And it
them
was
down.
dripping in grease.
And then,
Sick.
we're
No,
out sitting out on
We
the
had
grass.
cast iron stomachs
We were
then.
sitting out on the grass, not feeling good and everything. And then the Mopar guys would show up and go, "Okay, let's go street racing."
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Anytime anybody would ask me about street racing, I'd do this. And they go, "What are you doing?" "I'm looking to make sure my kids aren't around when we talk about this."
Well, let me tell you this quick tidbit about John. Bob's Big Boy, that's the destination. And you can remember, well, those of us that knew John when we were still in high school, was every time he broke something, somehow the money would flow and he would go get it fixed. Where does this money come from? I couldn't put two 20s together. He's busting motors. It's like, what, John? Was there a special strong arm box in your house or something? I don't know. Anyway, and I don't know if you had it all done by Schneider's. Maybe you already knew this guy.
No. I wouldn't let him touch anything I own.
Okay, so that's
Thought
when
he wouldn't.
that's when Frosty worked there,
Sorry
I think,
for
right?
my French.
So anyway, so you had just had something new put on your motor. Big, fast. You were so proud of it. You wanted to show.
Well, I had a
us.
Judson
You wanted to
supercharger.
show us, and we were going by Randy Reeves'
Ronnie Reeves.
house.
Sunnycrest Drive, Fullerton.
Right.
Ronnie Reeves. Whit Hayden lives right behind him now.
So we're going past Hillcrest Park up on Harbor. I think it was La Habra at that. La Habra at the time.
Where that goes up to La Habra.
Harbor and Brea Boulevard.
Harbor and Brea,
Right.
by Hillcrest Park.
Right.
Yeah,
It starts going up the hill.
correct.
Then it goes up a little bit more hill.
Yeah.
Some Mopar pulls to the left of him.
I don't
Bad
remember
mistake. He thinks he can eat Mopars.
Oh no. Not them.
You may remember this night. We're behind him.
I think
I
I'm
think
trying
Gary's
to
with.
forget it now.
I'm with Gary or Gary's with me. I'm not sure which. Huggins. This was so funny because we thought, okay, watch him blow up this motor with this Mopar. There's no way he's going to beat this car, right? Yeah, and we just wanted to be the first to see it, to see how he's going to get the money.
My
to fix,
friends had my
fix this
well
motor, right? I mean, these were hundreds of dollars being spent on hardware for this boy.
Right.
I don't know how you ever saved up for paint.
I had
jobs.
wonderful parents.
You had wonderful parents.
I was an only
indeed.
child.
Somebody revs it up in the left lane. Somebody's got to do it in the right lane. The left lane goes again. The light changes. Both of them put pedal to the metal. This guy sticks his foot in the carburetor. He gets about 200 feet up the street. All of a sudden, sparks are flying out both sides of
I don't
the
remember
car. You
this.
don't remember that?
No, I do
Boy,
not.
we were sure remember it.
I know.
I sure wish we had.
You
a
sure it
camera
was
at the
me?
time.
Okay.
I'm sure it was you, John.
All right.
Because I remember you getting it fixed.
Well, I used to go through Porsche clutches. He was talking about the one he did for Gregg.
Yeah.
Once you couldn't get rubber in second gear, they were no good. You had to replace it.
Oh wow.
That was probably the only Mopar you lost.
So
So wait, so
I
sparks
don't
went
remember
out
that.
both sides?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sparks went out both sides, and what happened?
he came to
He
a
pulled
stop.
over to the side of the road and,
Did you throw a rod or what?
I don't remember this at
yeah,
all.
I believe he may have.
I did with the
my
Judson
Or broke a
supercharger.
crank or something. I don't know what
When
he
I
did.
put it on, Joe Schneider says in the rough German, he says, "Oh, you're going to blow this thing up." I go, eh. Well, about 2,200 miles later, I was out in Irvine coming back one night, and I blew the top of number 2 cylinder out of it.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so he was right.
Big hole in the top.
So
Yeah.
we kind
hole
of
that
got
big
away
in the
from
piston.
something I want to get back to. The designing of the decal
Yeah.
was a combination effort, but importantly, when they got it all done, it said Der Kleiner Panzers. You know how many times I've been to Europe and every German tells me that's wrong.
Oh yeah, Joe
Oh, yes.
Schneider.
Stay Kleiner Panzer, and now I go, fuck you. We saw or they saw der Wiener Schnitzel, and that's where we went.
Yeah.
Right? So is that kind of
Well,
Joe Schneider used to say it's wrong.
the yeah?
Gary knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
He knew it was wrong.
He didn't care.
Because he said, well, we need to think of a name for this group of people we're going to put together. Okay, well, what do you think? Well, we'll call them the Tanks. He's in the military,
Yeah.
right? We'll call them the Tanks. Okay, we'll call them the Little Tanks. How's that? Okay, the Little Tanks.
Before we got out.
Okay, what does that translate to German? And he's flipping through his books and getting books from the shelves. And I think this is as close as I can get, and it came out Der Kleiner Panzers,
Oh, that's funny.
right? And
Wow.
next thing I know, I'm in Schneider's. I show Joe my pencil write-up, my pencil rendering. He says, no. I can't do his accent. But he said, you're not welcome in my shop if you're going to bring that in here. No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a gruff, and he would drink Miller High Life on Saturday. He'd start against the wall, and then he would slide down the wall the more he drank. Yeah, he was always talking like this, the typical German guy.
Oh my gosh.
But
Yeah, he threatened me. Yeah, he said,
told
you're not
Germans.
welcome here.
Yeah, I've
If
told
you-
Germans, we don't care. We like it.
We thought it sounded better. It rolled off the American tongue better
Yeah.
than a hard German sound.
Right.
And we didn't want it to be a hard German sound. We wanted it to be fun and love and all these other things, which fit with the times. Remember, we're chasing girls.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be German lookalikes, right?
And every other club copied us. Der Rennwagen Führers, Der Brückenaufbau.
Yeah.
And that's all wrong, but
It's all wrong.
whatever, we,
Yeah.
That's funny. Wow. Yeah.
So that's how it happened. I think it was the next weekend or the next week, went to school at FJC, and I happened to find where there was a decal place, and it happened to be right close to the college. And I went over there, I cut a couple of classes, and I went over there and I talked to a fella, and I said, so we're thinking of doing this and that and this. He says, well, hey, how about this? And he marks it all up, and I says, no, let's go back to the original. And we went back to the original. He said, but it's so simple. It's so plain.
This is Joe Schneider and me at Joe's retirement party in March of 1997.
Ooh, look at that beer belly.
And another story about Joe. Joe's wife was named Erica.
Yeah.
And Erica was something else. And I can remember her saying as a kid.
Let me see that picture.
Sure. We looked at, one day we got into a conversation and she said, Hitler wasn't so bad. Now, what we knew about Hitler wasn't good,
Yeah, it
but
wasn't
she
good.
was serious.
Yeah.
She was serious. Hitler wasn't so bad. Okay. Well, the story that I remember about Gregg was I was always getting new stuff to try and make the car faster. Well, Gregg had a 1300. It was a 66, the original car, which meant it was already a little faster. And I got a blue coil. And I said, come on, Gregg, we got to go race now, guys. I got a blue coil. $5. Let's go race. Oh, I really don't want to do that. Oh, come on, we got to go do that. So we went out somewhere off State College, that via Burton Street, I think, when there was nothing up there once. We raced. And of course, he beat me.
Of course.
End of story.
Coil. That reminds me. You get these little things.
And he didn't want to take my $5, but I made him take it.
It's all the rage. Everybody's got to get a blue coil, or everybody's got to get a different cam, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah.
Remember? I mean, one guy got it, everybody had it.
Yeah, it's monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah,
I
kinda.
still have in my glass case, like we all did, BS, an easy up. You know what an easy up is?
Mm-hmm.
It plugged onto the coil, and it had a light that would blink when the motor was
I have
running.
one.
And it didn't do jack diddly, but when we would work on each other's cars and mess with the carburetors, here's the deck lid, and I'm leaning in, and Don Crane's behind me holding it. nobody can see what we have, you know. And I'm acting like I'm dialing in the easy up. So everybody's like, I gotta get one of those.
The best, it was a little red thing. It was about this long with it. Had a little red light bulb at the top. And it was impulse off the points, right? And the best thing about those, we sold them at Auto House, and they were obviously out of China or someplace. The best thing about them was the instruction sheet.
Oh.
And I don't have that anymore, but oh, how I wish I. Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Make me a copy, would you?
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
That's the best thing of the whole deal.
And then they talk about an increase in horsepower, an
Yeah.
increase in torque, and
Yep,
everything.
yep.
Right.
Yeah.
From a blinking light.
Yep. Yeah, the blinking light.
Supercharge your ignition.
Yep. Yep.